What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with the Comedy Central roast of Alec Baldwin premiering on Sunday. I decided to do my top 10 favorite Alec Baldwin movies because I'm for real. Out of all of the Baldwin brothers, I think Alec has like the better film career. To be honest, yeah. I mean, Steve Baldwin, his film career is not always the best. Um, William Baldwin, his career is okay once when he wants to be, and Daniel Baldwin, his career is not really the great either. But Al Baldwin has been in loads of great films. I mean, he's been in some stinkers as well. But anyway, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Baldwin movies. All right, coming in at number 10 is going to be the film Prelude to a Kiss, which is directed by this director named Norman Renee, and it stars Alec Baldwin and Meg Ryan as these two people named Peter and Rita, who ends up falling for each other, and they decide to get married. But during their wedding reception, there's this there's like this old guy, played by Cindy Walker, who ends up at the wedding reception. He ends up asking Rita for a kiss, and nothing ends up being wrong at first. But Peter soon realizes that Rita has immediately switched bodies with the old guy. So she pretty much becomes him, while the old guy becomes Rita. And not only that, the guy is also terminally ill. So that means since he's in Rita's body, that means Rita is sharing the body of a terminally ill man. And so Peter has to find a way to get rid of the curse and to try for like and stuff like that, and try to get Rita back in order. It's really nice little film. I mean, I really like the chemistry with Alec Baldwin and Meg Ryan. I mean, granted, I think Meg Ryan's best romantic chemistry is with Tom Hanks and Billy Crystal, but Meg Ryan still worked with Baldwin pretty well. And it was it was of course a like a Freaky Friday like film, but I still quite enjoy it. It's really cute. The performances by Baldwin and Ryan was good. I mean, if you guys never seen Prelude to a Kiss, it's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 9 is going to The Boss Baby. Now, this movie will get lots of people did not really like this movie, and when it got nominated for the Oscars for Best Animated Feature, people got pissed off about that. I'm like, come on, Boss Baby wasn't all half bad. I mean, yeah, Boss Baby was kind of like Donald Trump if Donald Trump was a baby. That's what really Boss Baby was like. And I mean, it wasn't like DreamWorks' best work, to be honest, yeah. But I still quite got a kick out Boss Baby. I mean, I found it to be really cute. I love the animation. It had a really cool story arc. I really got a kick out Boss Baby, and shame that it did pretty well, because I mean a sequel is also coming in 2 more years. But shame that it didn't really get well received, because it's actually much better than critics made it out to be. Right. Coming in at number 8 is going to Martin Scorsese's film The Aviator. Now, in this film, Alec Baldwin plays the role of a Juan Trippy, who documents Howard Hughes' movie making days and all. And of course, and Juan was also the head of American Airlines as well, so there's that too. I mean, you had Leo DiCaprio as Howard Hughes. He was terrific here. You had Kate Beckinsale as Ava Gardner. Kate Blanchett was Katharine Hepburn. You had Gwen Stefani as Jean Harlow. You also had people like John C. Reilly, William Dafoe, Ian Holm, Jude Law. Some really good cast members were featured in The Aviator. And now, granted, Baldwin's character role wasn't that big, but I thought Baldwin really played that role perfectly. and like his interaction with Leo DiCaprio is pretty good. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Martin Scorsese's The Aviator yet, it's a really good one. And of course, it's a movie about the golden age of Hollywood, and I'm a sucker for that stuff. All right. Coming in at number 7, I'm going with Great Balls of Fire. I mean, of course, you got Dennis Quaid as Jerry Lee Lewis. Dennis Quaid's Jerry Lee Lewis role is really perfect. I thought he really embodied that character really well. Of course, you had Winona Ryder was pretty great, and in it, Alec Baldwin actually played Jerry's cousin, Jimmy Swagger. I thought Alec Baldwin as a Jimmy Swagger was pretty good. You had Michael St. Gerard as Lewis's rival Elvis. I thought Jared was a pretty good Elvis here. I mean, it had some really great music behind it, really good performances, and the chemistry between Alec Baldwin and Dennis Quaid was pretty good. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Great Balls of Fire yet, it's an '80s music biopic classic. All right, coming in at number six. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Rob Reiner's film Ghosts of Mississippi. Now, the film is based on actual events about the killing of this activist named Medgar Evers, played by James Pickens Jr., who was murdered in 1963, and the evidence ends up being pointed towards this white supremacist named Brian D. Lee Backward, played by James Woods, and you got Whoopi Goldberg, who plays Evers' mother, who pretty much wants Beckwith, to be convicted and all. And in it, you got Alec Baldwin, who plays like he plays the lawyer in this. And I really quite like Ghost of Mississippi. You got James Woods, a Best Supporting Actor nomination. I mean, he was great in this. I really quite like the chemistry between Baldwin and Goldberg. Their chemistry is pretty good. Rob Reiner did a good job at directing. I mean, crazy that this movie was based on a true story, but yeah. Anyway, if you guys never seen Rob Reiner's Ghost of Mississippi, it's a really interesting film. I mean, it's a very heartbreaking story, but it's a pretty good legal film, and I'm a sucker for legal based films. All right, coming in at number 5 is going to be the film The Cooler, directed by the always great Wayne Kramer. It takes place in a Las Vegas casino, and it stars William H. Macy as Bernie Lutz, who is like a very extremely unlucky at gambling, and he owes the Shanghai La Casino over $100,000, and he ends up being so unlucky that he ends up hiring a cooler. If you guys don't know, a cooler is someone to gamble next to high rollers and give them his bad luck and stop them from winning it all. And so this arrangement ends up working out for a while until Bernie, who has almost paid off his debts, ends up meeting this cocktail waitress named Natalie Bellisario, played by Maria Bella, and the two ends up falling in love. But however, you got Alec Baldwin, who plays the old-fashioned mob boss, Shelley Caplow, who kind of really wants Bernie to pay back the money that he owes and all. And I mean, you also got Ron Livingston was in this. You even had Joey Fatone, Paul Sorvino. The Cooler is such an awesome film. It's a really dark comedy. There's that too. Alec Baldwin as a mob boss. What more can you ask for there? William H. Macy was great in this. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Cooler yet, it's really good. All right. Coming in at number 4 is another Martin Scorsese film, And that's a film that finally won Scorsese his Oscar, by the way. Number 4 is The Departed. I mean, Alec Baldwin, like his role isn't as big in this as his other roles in this list are, but Alec Baldwin's part's pretty good in this. I mean, it is of course based like an American remake of a 2002 Hong Kong crime film called Infernal Affairs, and it's where like the police force attempt to rein in the increasingly powerful Irish mafia, and so like the attorneys are faced with the pretty much the prospect of sending in a undercover agent or seeing their failed grip on the criminal underworld slip even like further north. So you got Leonardo DiCaprio who plays the character of Billy Coatigan, who's like this cop who pretty much like is trying to make his self in the world of law enforcement. And so you got Matt Damon who plays a character named Colin Sullivan, who's a street smart criminal who has like successfully infiltrated the police department with like we're pretty much sole intention of reporting their every move to a ruthless syndicate head Frank Costello, played by Jack Nicholson. And Alec Baldwin here, he actually plays one of the cops that's involved in that's pretty much involved with the infiltrate and all. I mean, Baldwin, I really quite liked his chemistry with the cast. I mean, but Baldwin and Scorsese like to have worked together before on The Aviator. They really worked well together. The Departed, like I said, finally won Scorsese his Oscar after like God knows how long. I mean, yeah, and I mean this is a really cool crime film. I mean, it's one of the remakes that's actually better than the original in my opinion. I mean, yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Departed by now, it's a really good one. All right. Coming in at number 3 is going to The Hunt for Red October. Of course, it's based on the book by Tom Clancy. You've got Alec Baldwin as the character of Jack Ryan. You've got Sean Connery as a Soviet submarine commander, Marco as the Soviet commander Marco Ramimus, who's of course is set. Of course, Ramos is ends up being set as a pilot in motion when his when he ends up murdering his political advertiser and burns his Orlando. So you got pretty much of course you got Jack Ryan who's trying to track the commando down and all. Anyway, now Alec Baldwin. Now this was actually I can't remember, but I think this was like the first actual. This film was actually the first Jack Ryan major film, and I thought Alec Baldwin played Jack Ryan perfectly. And it's kind of funny how how Alec Baldwin is actually supposed to be the hero in this, but Sean Connery's name is actually first. I always found that to be pretty odd, but anyway, obviously other people who played Jack Ryan after Baldwin included Harrison Ford, who played the role about twice. Ben Affleck played the role, as well as Chris Pine, and John Krasinski, of course, plays the role now on Amazon. So Jack Ryan has been portrayed multiple times, and I feel like people like Alec Baldwin is kind of the most underrated Jack Ryan there is. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Hunt for Red October, it's a really good joke, right? I mean, not to mention, it was directed by John McTiernan, who gave us Die Hard. You had Scott Glenn, James Earl Jones, Sam Neill, Courtney B. Vance. Anyway, really good film. Like, if you guys haven't seen Hunt for Red October, definitely check that one out. And I better hurry up before it ends up raining again.
Actually, what is like physically wrong with that?
All right. My number 2 favorite Alec Baldwin movie is.
Alec is texting me.
All right. My number 2 favorite.
She goes, "You're playing Todd."
Anyway, my number 2 favorite Baldwin film is, of course, Tim Burton's classic Beetlejuice.
That's the best.
Now, this stars Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis as this couple who ends up getting into a auto accident, and they end up becoming ghosts, and they find out that their old apartment is being owned by these yuppies, played by Jeffrey Jones, Catherine O'Hara, and one of their kids, of course, played by Winona, the aforementioned Winona Ryder. And so Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin's character pretty much hire this ghost to creep them out. Of course, the ghost of course named Beetlejuice, and he is played wonderfully by Michael Keaton. I mean, I know Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's chemistry with one another was pretty cool. Of course, Michael Keaton, come on, as Michael Keaton's a great Beetlejuice. I quite love Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. And, of course, Catherine O'Hara was great. Winona Ryder was pretty good. I mean, yeah, Beetlejuice, I'm still holding out hope we'll see a sequel, but I don't think that will ever happen. But if you guys never seen Beetlejuice by now, it's an 80s classic. I mean, the movie's pretty old. Like, I believe it got released in 1988, and the movie actually still holds up today. So, all right. Now, Alec Baldwin's number 1 best film, in my opinion, is probably one of the best cast and best, scripts I've ever. Anyway, Baldwin's best film, in my opinion, number 1, is Glengarry Glen Ross. I mean, Baldwin, of course, plays probably one of the most awful boss in movie history. It is based on David Mamet's Pulitzer Prize winning play. And Alec Baldwin's character is such a dick in this movie. I mean, like, this is literally the movie that makes me not ever want to go to. Whenever I do get an actual job, I would never go into these type of corporations because these bosses could be dicks. And I hope if I do go to a job, I hope my boss don't end up being like Alec Baldwin's character in Glengarry Glen Ross. I mean, he of course he interpreted so many lines in this. And funny enough is in the movie Boss Baby. Funny enough is that in Boss Baby there's actually a the line where where the baby tells that kid put the cookie down, cookies are foreclosure. That is a spoof of Glengarry Glen Ross. So I always found that Boss Baby scene to be very funny. And I mean, Glengarry Glen Ross has arguably such a really cool cast here. I mean, you've got people like Jack Lemmon, Alan Arkin, Ed Harris is in this, Kevin Spacey. The movie, great. How on earth do James Foley goes from an awesome movie like Glengarry Glen Ross to probably one of the worst sequels to the horrible 50 Shades movies? I mean, that still boggles me. But yeah, I mean, and this, of course, Baldwin, plays the sales mover here as well, and like he's kind of he's really a boss you would not want you to have in real life. And this movie is mainly takes place in one environment, which is workplace, and it's a really cool workplace film. Really great film. I mean, if you guys never seen Glengarry Glen Ross by now, it's a 90s classic. So definitely can check that one out, and it's actually Baldwin's best work. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Prelude to a Kiss. 9. The Boss Baby. 8. The Aviator. 7. Great Balls of Fire. 6. Ghosts of the Mississippi. 5. The Cooler. 4. The Departed. 3. The Hunt for Red October. 2. Beetlejuice. 1. Glengarry Glen Ross. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added. Now, even though it's not a movie, I will say Alec Baldwin playing Donald Trump on SNL is probably my favorite thing that Alec Baldwin has done in recent years. I mean, I just love seeing Alec Baldwin portray that guy. And a few other great noble stuff. He also did Dirty Rock, which I was never really. I know lots of people love Dirty Rock. I was never really the world's biggest Dirty Rock guy. I mean, I thought it was an okay show. Just and Tracy Morgan was great on it, and Tina Fey, but yeah. His other film work included It's Complicated with Meryl Streep and Steve Martin. I didn't care for that one, but he was in Cat in the Hat, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. See, he was in The Edge with Anthony Hopkins. That was a pretty good one. He was in the last two Mission Impossible movies. Still Alice with Julianne Moore. He was good in. He was also in Blue Jasmine with Kate Blanchett. That was good. Working Girl with Harrison Ford and Melanie Griffith. That was a good one. Malice, The Marrying Man, Along Came Polly, Married to the Mob, Fun with Dick and Jane, Rock of Ages, Rise of the Guardians, The Juror, definitely not Elizabethtown. That movie stunk. Cats and Dogs. I mean, I could go to a list of loads of Alec Baldwin films. But let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Alec Baldwin movies? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C Movie signing off.